Third question is from Derek. Derek is asking, what's the difference between being addicted to medication and being dependent on it? I hear my doctor and pharmacist putting around these terms. Great question, especially this time of the year where we're finding that we're treating a whole heap of conditions where people may become addicted and dependent. So let's go through them. So the first one, addiction. Addiction is a change in your behavior. The changes in basic biochemical changes in the brain that cause your addictive patterns. So an addictive pattern would be an addiction to chocolate. So if you're addicted to chocolate, the addiction component causes you to sort of constantly try and find chocolate. You're always hanging out for chocolate. You really feel like it. Sounds like most of us, doesn't it? So you're always looking out for chocolate. At the first instance, you see chocolate, you don't even know how it ends up in your hands. So that's what addiction is. And how this relates to medication. So some people may be, when you hear they may be addicted to a particular substance, they're actually addicted to the whole process that's going on in the brain causes changes. And they're addicted to finding the medication. Sometimes they drive around from place to place searching for this medication. And that's what an addiction is, basically. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. And I'm going to tie this all up at the end, Derek. So the next part of your question is dependence. So dependence is different from addiction. Dependence is when your body becomes physically reliant on the medication, where if you don't have that medication, you go into a state of tolerance and withdrawal. Quite often you can get so many medications that you can get on prescription and on the street that you can become dependent upon. So that means you need to start taking it all the time. And if you stop taking it, your body just goes into this withdrawal and your body starts going into sweats, diarrhea, you're really agitated, you can't sleep, you can't function on a daily level, you get cold and flu type symptoms. So that's a dependency. And that is a real physical response. You're going to feel totally sick, sore, and all the other symptoms I've mentioned before. So that's dependence, addiction versus dependence. So it is possible to have a physical dependence without addiction. So your body can still be in withdrawal, but you haven't got that change in chemical behavior in your brain where you're constantly trying to seek this drug for pleasure. However, it's been my experience that it's possible to have dependence with addiction because they can go hand in hand together. So recap, Derek, addiction, changing behavior. So you're constantly, the person is constantly searching, looking for access to this medication, and they're totally addicted and they've got neurochemical changes in the brain. Dependence is a physical dependence. So that means that they need to have it in their body for them to function regularly or normally. Derek, hopefully that answers your question, buddy.